Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvina Vadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. How to experience the state of bliss. If it is achievable, okay, there is some echo. If it is achievable through meditation, what is the method of this meditation? How to experience the state of bliss? Bliss is the nature of the mind, happiness. Purer the mind is, happier the mind is. And mind is the purest, that is bliss. So bliss also is not a one-time event. As you work on the raga-dveshas, eliminate them, you discover progressively happiness within the self. So generally when we use the words bliss and how to experience, we think it's something that happens, it's a one-time event or something. Something descends upon. That may be so. But if something descends and something will ascend also, and therefore, if you want lasting happiness, the only way is to purify the mind by worship, by various values and attitudes, by prayers, by study and understanding. All of these things contribute to the removal of impurities. And so continue to this is a process. Meditation certainly helps in terms of prayer. You can meditate upon your Ishtadevata. You can do meditation upon what you have learned to assimilate. But bliss or happiness is something that progressively happens. And purity of mind is attained by removal of ignorance in form of raga-dveshas, form of wrong complexes, misconceptions. And so by Shravanam these things go, by prayer the raga-dveshas go. That's a multi-pronged approach. At the vyavaharik level, there is spirit of seva, worship and pursuit of knowledge. All the three levels. All of this will help in contributing the purity of the mind, focus of the mind, happiness of the mind. And it will culminate into bliss or ananda. Because the way the question is, looks like we can do something inside, so bliss comes out. This is not a manipulation of mind or you some twist and turn the mind that something happens. What should I with the mind for some experience to happen? You know. So we are not going to manipulating mind, twisting and turning the mind. Mind is a very delicate instrument, and therefore work with it patiently, kindly, and as we are taught. But our project is purification of mind and understanding of the scriptures. That's a good question here. In the Panchakosha Viveka, Manomaya Kosha is subtler than Pranamaya Kosha. In other words, Manomaya Kosha is the cause of, not cause of Pranamaya Kosha, subtler, inner. So I want to understand how this categorization is different from our present categorization related to prana and mana, where prana is cause of everything. What's the basis behind these two concepts? So it depends upon how we categorize things. It is true that as far as the prana in terms of the organs of action are concerned, then the mind in terms of the faculty of knowledge is subtler. But the vitality of the mind also, to gain the knowledge, vitality of sense organs to perform their actions, all that vitality is what is provided by prana. And so this approach is somewhat different. In the Panchakosha Viveka, there is also a prakriya of progressively moving towards the self. There is a prakriya of moving towards the self. But here, it is not, and again, there is not cause and effect relationship between the Manomaya and Pranamaya. Manomaya is not cause of Pranamaya, Manomaya is subtler, inner, more pervasive, controller. In that sense, it is said to be the subtler than Pranamaya. Understand that all this Maya only means nothing but various notions of the self. What is Annamaya? It's not this body. Although Annamaya is described as body. Vikara, modification of food. Vikara, modification of prana. That may be so, but that's not kosha. What is kosha? Koshavat achadakatvat, so that which conceals, like a sheath which conceals. What can conceal Atma? That is self-effulgent, self-evident. Only a notion that I am so and so can conceal, meaning deprive me of the true knowledge of self. My conclusion that I am the body, my conclusion that I am the mind, my conclusion that I am the prana, that conclusion is what deprives me from the appreciation that I am consciousness. So understand what is kosha. It's not that there is some actual sheath covering something, but 5 koshas are 5 categories of notions born of identifications at these 5 levels. Meaning that the notions arising from the identification of the body, sthuloham, krushoham, this is called annamaya kosha. Notions arising about Atma, I am hungry, I am thirsty, that notion is called pranamaya kosha. Prana is instrumental in creating that notion, therefore it is called pranamaya kosha. Pranamaya does not conceal Atma. Nothing conceals Atma, self-effulgent. What conceals the rope? The notion that is a snake is what conceals the rope. What else conceals the rope? What goes is not the snake, the notion of the snake. So what conceals the recognition of the true nature of the self is my conclusion that I am so and so, and that I am so and so is in 5 categories. I am so and so arising from identification of the body. I am so and so arising from identification of the prana. I am so and so, a class of notions. I am so and so arising from identification of the mind, with intellect, with happiness. So these so-called sheaths are nothing but the notions or complexes about the self, for which these 5 entities are responsible. It's no fault of the body, poor thing, the body is condemned. It is impure, is this, that and so forth. Your sense objects are condemned, body is condemned. What's the fault of this body, poor thing? Why should you condemn it? Again, this is between you and me. This is not a public thing. Why do you condemn women? Why do you condemn sense objects? Why do you condemn them? It's not that fault that this is there. Oh, it tempts you, it attracts you. You are stupid that you are tempted. It doesn't tempt you. Why do you blame that? Instead of blaming the kind of temptations we have, I condemn this thing. This stupid thing tempts me. So take it away. So something else will come. If temptation is in you, you are the cause. If you don't understand this, you always look out for causes. That thing is responsible. That's wrong. Nothing wrong with the objects of the world, nothing wrong with women, man, this, that, anything, nothing wrong with anything. That's what is created by Ishvara. If there is something wrong, it is my perception of those things. That's all. So I keep removing those things. They are doing something to me. I take away, I run away. You do what you want to do, nothing wrong. But as long as that stuff is carried in your mind, from here, if Arjuna runs away from the battlefield, he'll start fighting with trees, he'll cut trees, he'll do something. As long as he goes with a mind, which is a Kshatriya mind, if he doesn't fight the battle, do something else. So that is why Lord Krishna says no point in changing the situation. Yad ahankar maasritya na yotseti manyase mithyaisha vyavasayaste prakrutistvam niyokshari. Because of arrogance or ego, you think that I will not fight. Now I know better than you, Lord Krishna. And therefore leave the battlefield. Don't think that that's the end of it. Your mind is right now doing something. You continue to do something in a different situation also. It's not situation that is causing. It is your perception of situation. If I am habituated to have that perception, wherever I go, I will create that perception. So where change should take place? Arjuna wants to change the situation. That doesn't want to change your mind. Anyway, why am I saying all this stuff? It's kosha and this and so forth. I thought that I have to share this with you because this basic thing is not understood by people. So these are different prakriyas, so don't compare them. That's all I can say. Use the prakriya that is given in a given place.
In the context of mind that we are discussing so far, how can we understand Bhagwan Rama Maharshi's statement of this Vayu Rodhanath